Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka Two Jews, No Terry Crews,
aka assholes are blowing vape smoke into their brand new consoles, but at least this year you don't have to eat your uncle's casseroles.
Heyo.
That was Martin P. King.
Thanks, brother.
I love it. Thanks, Martin P. King.
We are peeking in on you, peeking in on the future. This is the middle of the week. We're actually a week ahead as we're trying to get out in front for Thanksgiving. You guys are gearing up. I hope everyone's doing it safely. Look, you can still be made to feel bad about yourself passive aggressively over a Zoom. So you don't have to get together. Let's collectively say, hey, no to Thanksgiving this year. Let's
But
be grateful.
yes to all of the passive aggressiveness.
Yes, you can do that. And someone, look, give your mother-in-law or mother a reason to be mad at you by not attending her Thanksgiving this
A
year.
legitimate reason.
So there you go. We're going to jump into these stories. We'll keep reminding you on 1212. We have another Live Dumb People Town with the amazing and incredible Dollop podcast as our guest and Mac Lethal. Get your tickets. Go to eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. Those tickets are jumping up every day.
Yep.
And we're starting to get into the range where I think it will sell out. And so
I do too.
Just be on it, guys. We want you to get it.
All right, let's jump into this. Now, for today's news in the world of sex robots.
Because I feel like we covered that a lot on this show.
Well, it's just a lot of sex robot news coming out certainly in the last little bit. Like,
maybe that's an admission that like we're in this pandemic for the long haul.
Is that the canary and the Sexbot canary in the coal mine?
The more sexual robot canaries that come out in the world, the more we know that, hey, this is a harbinger of times to come where we're locked down.
Or it's like a preparation for 2024 if Trump runs and wins again and another pandemic happens and he doesn't handle it the way he has completely mishandled this thing. Who knows? But there have been a rash of sex robot stories to come out recently, and this next one involves the elderly.
As most sex robot stories should.
And the answer to the question that you are undoubtedly thinking right now is no, we don't think it's a good idea, and we're going to explain why.
Here we go.
Seattle, a social isolation continues to be a problem for those with disabilities, ages 65 and older. University of Washington professor is considering how robots could be developed to provide senior citizens welcome companionship and, yes, even sexual fulfillment. Okay. I'm going to say this.
On paper.
Great idea on paper, right?
Yeah.
You want your older relative to have a companion, but robotic? No.
I don't know. I know you're saying no, but I'm saying, look, the robotic companion isn't going to dig into their life and take their money.
No, but go back and watch SNL's brilliant sketch about Amazon Silver.
Old Amazon,
where the guy, Ed Keenan, is like, Amanda, and it answers to Amanda, even though it's
Alexa
not Alexa.
just knows, old
you get
Alexa
it right.
knows.
It's hilarious. It's so trenchant. It's so on point. But it's a blueprint for how to handle this story right here.
We are children of a 75-year-old woman. Now, granted, she has had 2 strokes, so sometimes explaining things is hard.
Okay. But as a child of a 75-year-old, any child, or a grandkid who has had to help their grandparent or elderly parent set up Gmail, you know what I'm talking about right now. A
sex robot is way more complicated than setting up Gmail.
It is going to be a disaster for kids and grandkids everywhere who have to help set it up and keep it running. Imagine if there are updates on the sex robot. Forget about it. Nancy Jecker and Hyde, professor of bioethics and humanities at the University of Washington School of Medicine in Seattle, just published a paper on the topic. Good. God bless her.
Good for her.
Nothing to be ashamed of. Sex robots for older adults with disabilities. And again, we cannot tell you how much we're on board with the idea of this, but in practice,
you are asking for it on every level if you want to try and put this in practice.
Imagine a grandma asking her 24-year-old granddaughter how to turn her sex robot on. Grandma, what do you mean? How do you excite it sexually? I don't understand the question
Or
you're
how do
asking
you
me.
literally turn it on, Grandma? We don't know what you're asking us.
It has to be voice operated, the way every old person texts, just yelling into their device.
Or how do you turn it off? That's even
how do you turn it off?
More horrible question to be asking.
In the paper, Jecker connects the current trend of robotics and artificial intelligence with the rapidly growing ranks of senior citizens who are living longer. That's just a function of our times right now, and are often lonely and disabled. Again, beautiful idea in theory. We cannot support this enough from
But
a
just
theoretical.
imagine the box showing up at your grandma's house.
And then what?
Who's going to set it up? It has to come with someone
It
who
better
sets
be
it up.
the easiest thing in the world to set up.
It better be a cut the top of the box and it walks out and starts banging.
It's got
It's literally like, zip, it's out.
sex robot out, and boom, it starts banging your grandma. You're like, thank God we don't have to put it on wheels. Thank God we don't have to connect it into the Wi-Fi.
Thank God we don't have to charge it.
This is going to divide American families more than the current political situation at
Possibly.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I defy you to find a young person who has just helped their older relative set up technology who still wants to hang out with that older relative.
Yes.
Right? This
You
is
got to
how
go to the app, Grandma.
You gotta
open up sexual
open it up.
acts. Open up Deviant, the Deviant
I don't
file.
know what kind of a job you want.
Go down, scroll down to Deviant, and then
move
click
to the
on
other.
that.
No, I don't know if it comes with a GIMP ball.
It's
Nana, I don't.
go Pat. No, you're in face sitting. You're not in Deviant. You got to go up to D. You're down in F.
She's
in
like,
F.
well, I don't know where the cursor is going. Can you
Look whatever's highlighted. Whatever's highlighted.
What do you mean? What is highlighted?
That's Donkey Punch. That is not Deviant. What is she doing? She doesn't
She's
know what she's
on
doing.
D, but she's not getting it right.
Go up to Deviant.
You got to go up to it. Help your mother get like into her mobile banking app. That's like essentially the same thing.
No. Don't give the sex robot your social security number. She's giving away all of her information.
By the way, you know what's easier than setting up your grandma's sex robot would be like explaining the TV show Westworld to her.
Yeah.
I can barely get it. Jecker argues that allowing older people to access sex robots, which are usually portrayed as a product for younger people, is a reasonable way to support one's sexuality for those who are disabled. Yes,
By the way,
yes.
couldn't agree more in theory.
Are you, as the sex robot company, going to send out like a sex geek squad?
They're going to have
You're going to have to. It's a way to make more money.
Now she's on Dominatrix. You need to go up to Deviant.
Up higher.
These things are all under
You're on
the
DO. You got to get to. Anyway, we apply ageist attitudes and negative stereotypes to older adults. Again, this is a great paper to write.
Fair, and I think as we are getting older now, the older people soon will be people who have lived through technology and understand technology.
Right,
and
a 75-year-old in 10 years will pretty much know a lot of stuff, but again, there are still things that they just don't understand.
75-year-old in 10 years was, I guess, okay. So they're 65 right now.
Yeah.
So that means they were. So they're 15, 16
So they were
years.
55. They were 35 at Y2K.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
No, they were 45 at Y2K, but still.
Yeah. Nobody is
still.
saying older people can't and shouldn't have sex. We are not saying that.
No,
we are the
God,
opposite. But when you add technology in the mix, that's when we become really ageist, and rightfully so.
Look, we know it's not fair.
I tried to set up an Evite, which we talked about on this show, for my mom for her birthday, for our mom for her birthday.
Which she didn't want to call a birthday. She wanted to call an open house.
I can't even begin
She,
to tell you how
I guess,
difficult.
wanted people to think that she was selling her house.
Instead of and everybody knows that that's her birthday. People know if March 29th is the time that it's coming out, that it's for her birthday, but she didn't want to put on there no gifts. You mean like no one would ever bring a gift to an open house? What are you talking about, Mom?
No gifts. Okay, no gifts. That makes sense.
So I'm telling you, that experience was 3 days of my life that I will never get back. Imagine, I can't even imagine a sex doll. Designing and marketing sex robots for older disabled people would represent a sea change from a current practice. The reason to do this is to support human dignity and to take seriously the claims of those.
We
Great
agree
idea
with
again.
all that.
A lot of research and development money has got to go into simplifying things. I'm just saying, take the things that older people know how to do and try and infuse that technology in the sex robot. FaceTime, Amazon Prime, Candy Crush. These are just, and make the sex dolls operate like these things right there.
Yes.
But Checker says it's not all about sex. There's a whole spectrum of human desires. Remember, we did the one recently about the robotic
hand?
sexual hand that in Japan that people can hold.
Yes.
So some people want a companion they can provide both social interaction and physical affection. I mean,
Look, a robot that comes over and says, "Show me more pictures of your grandkids." That would be
that'd
great.
be enough. That's ecstasy.
That's fantastic.
I would ask, if you're interested in getting a sex robot. The test that you have to take in order to get it as an older person, you have to watch the movie Her, and you have to understand it.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Do you get it? Then you get it.
I will guarantee you that very few people over the age of 75 will get that movie or like it. You're going to get the question, how come we don't see her in the movie? I hear Scarlett Johansson, I never see her.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? That's just...
Why don't we see Scarlett Johansson? I keep hearing her voice.
Let's just set up your Sexbot, Grandma. Now, Grandma, what's your Wi-Fi password? My what?
And
you're
done. At that point, you're just done.
My what? That's what it is. All right, that is the first story down in the books. When we come back, we're going to talk about... we recently talked on the show about mushroom carvings in the shape of peni. We've got a story from Belgium that one-ups this whole story, and that's on the other side of the break. This is Sklar Country, the Virus Edition. Don't go anywhere. Hey, gang.
Hey. Welcome back to the show.
Eventbrite.com, live down Peopletown, 1212, Dollop, live Dollop Peopletown. Get your tickets now because they're selling out. Go to our YouTube page, Sklar Country. Tool around, look at the videos on there, old cheap seats, really cool stuff. You can see us doing this show, which is really cool.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff happening. And then our Facebook page, Sklar Brothers, just like the page. Let's see if we can jump that up a little bit, shall we?
I would love it.
Rate and review this podcast. Tell people about it. We love doing it for right now, and it's just a blast. Let's jump into the story.
Okay, so Randy was talking about it. We talked about a story the other day, I believe.
Stump carvings in the shape of mushrooms, which people thought were penises, and it's just what you look at. I only saw mushrooms.
And look, yes, if you look closely, if you want to see a penis, you're going to see a penis in a lot of things.
You can see a penis in everything.
But it still felt like a bit of a reach around on that one.
It did feel like a bit of a reach around.
Well, we got a story from Belgium that tops the carving mushroom penises. And look, this case, it's harder.
That's what she said. Hey-o.
To explain it away. Thankfully, the mayor of a Belgian town is not denying it.
I can't deny it. I'm about to try it. You don't want to mess with me.
Let's get into it. Mayor Anthony Dumare said, of course.
That's Dumare.
Of course, it was not our intention to install Christmas lights that remind people of a penis.
Fa la 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 la.
How in the world has there not been a pornographic 12 Days of Christmas, Randy?
I don't. And that needs to, I don't know. That needs to be put out in the universe.
There probably is one. I just didn't take the time to look it up, but I know that on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me his penis.
That's really the end of the song.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me his balls.
2 balls of
fury
banging.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me the idea of a threesome.
There you go. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. You do the math on
That's
that.
3 pears going up your ass with a partridge doing something else.
Yeah.
Hey. The mayor added, but we do see the lighter side of the incident.
Well, see, that's good. I like this guy. I really like this guy now.
So what does that say? It says that he gets, Randy, that
there was a screw-up that happened.
And that it's funny to have Christmas lights that look like a penis all over your damn Belgian town.
That's right.
The mayor said that the decorations, consisting of a long shaft with a bulbous blue tip, did not appear quite so phallic until they were turned on.
I know a lot of other people that were turned on.
Folks! So they're growers, not show.
I got it. Okay, I get you. I got you.
I looked at these lights, and it's hard. That's what she said. To not see it.
They aren't just phallic symbols.
They're like veiny, erect
lights.
Damari said, I only realized it myself when they were illuminated. But we have to see the humor in this. Seriously, we actually have to.
We have to.
Or someone will get fired.
Yep.
We have to see the
Someone
humor.
going to get fired anyway.
The decorations were designed by the council's technical department as part of a long-term plan for the area that included illuminated pyramids, which I'm going to guess that had vertical slots in the middle that pulsated to the touch.
Kidding, and they grow.
The mayor said, our technical department designed them. Translation, I did not do
Talk
this.
about a buck pass right there.
Yeah.
That was just a whoop.
Nerds over in the tech department drew this one up. They haven't seen a woman in years.
Yeah,
they're all agoraphobic animals, sex craze.
Let's throw them under the old bus.
Toss them under the bus. The mayor continued, if we had bought them, it would have cost us around 3 times as much. So Translation.
We tried to make something we should have bought. We were trying to save
But you guys want a fire department, so we made
guess
penises
what?
by
You're
mistake.
gonna have penises.
So sorry. We're gonna save your house when it's burning down. Yes, keep
I'm
complaining
sorry
about
we
the
can
penises.
still deliver the mail here.
So we chose the city's colors and put a blue tip on top.
Oh God, just
Even
the tip.
just calling it a blue tip.
It's not.
That's
a good idea.
call it a blue cap.
Yeah,
Call it we
blue
made the
helmet.
We made the top blue.
Yeah,
Can't you just say that?
just the tip.
He stopped just short of saying, so we put a throbbing blue head on top to make sure that it captured the rising Christmas spirit exploding all over this city. Like it felt like he was on his way to saying that. Am I right, Rand?
He was one step away from saying we circumcised the rest of the lights.
There has been a lot of reaction, but of course we did not intentionally set out to make them this way. That
was God's decision. God makes his call, and then we have to all live with it.
The same God that brought you Christmas, so deal
Brought
with
you
it.
these penises.
So take it up with him. See, this is what he said. I see the funny side of it myself.
Uh-huh.
We really have to do that in these dark and difficult times.
We're not arguing with that.
I agree with that. Also, if we don't see the funny side of it, someone will have to be fired.
We have to see the funny side.
The first time I saw them during the day, I didn't pay any attention to them. Once they were eliminated, I noticed immediately. But I see no reason to remove or replace them.
So this is when you realize that Belgium is a community and a country not based on puritanical beliefs
Right.
like the United States. They're like, all right, we see it.
It
We
looks like a
acknowledge it.
penis, but we don't have to take it down. We can all just acknowledge it and laugh on it.
Don't look at it.
Look, it might be exhilarating and exciting to some of you. We'll leave them up.
What did the mayor
The mayor added, let's just say we have the country's most talked about Christmas lights of the year.
Yeah, suck on that, Bruges.
Put that in your waffle and eat it, bitches.
Yep.
So here's what I like about this mayor and his approach.
I like this mayor a lot.
I like the fact that he acknowledged that it was not intentional.
Okay.
He also didn't try to make people feel weird for seeing what they saw in the lights.
Yeah, blaming other people for that, you know what I mean? Kind of gaslighting them.
And he's leaving it up because honestly, Christmas needs an update.
A very hustler Christmas. I'm down with that.
No need to back down to a small group of people who are totally offended by this. And I guarantee the group of people who are offended by this are small. It's not a lot of people.
Hamster Xmas. You're
Yes.
welcome.
Yes. And this paves the way for their technical department's Easter decorations.
There you go. Are you ready for these?
2 grassy mounds, each with a giant Hershey's Kiss placed on the top.
You're welcome.
There it is. That's Easter.
Tell me this city isn't angling for the AVN Awards. You
They
tell
might
me
be.
they're not.
They are a red light district. But either way, there is something incredibly evolved about saying, look, we know what they are, and we know that the issue. What's the biggest issue? And it was the same issue in the mushroom story.
Yeah.
Parents are going to say, how dare we?
How do we explain this to? And again, it's mostly adults looking at that and saying it's like kids aren't going to look at those and be like, wow, look at all the
Kids
penises.
don't notice things unless there's something in it for them.
That's right.
So why do kids notice Christmas trees? Well, that's connected
there's
to
presents
presents that
underneath.
they'll get.
Kids aren't walking around looking at pine trees in the regular part of the year saying,
Well, that's phallic.
Yeah.
That looks like a peanut. No one, they don't think that. Now, maybe when they get to be teenagers, they start to think that.
Yeah.
But they already know what's going on.
That's right. So you don't have to sit down and have that conversation.
You can have a laugh with your 12-year-old and be
It's
like,
funny. Look at that.
penis lights over there. You know, rub them and they get a little taller.
That's right.
Make some joke.
You can actually have a moment that's fun with your kids.
So what we say to the world
Again,
is,
who's worried about this? Are you worried about the older people in your community who are maybe prudish in certain ways? Again, this is Belgium. Okay?
Belgium is a pretty progressive country. We've been to Belgium.
Yes, we have.
And I think the point of this is if this happened in the South in America, or if this happened in
Like
some provincial city here, like you would have an uproar and you would have a bunch of people saying, hey, we got to take this down because we got to. And Randy and I are parents. I have little kids.
Yeah.
So I would be in the target audience of people who would be like,
angry
this
about
could be
this.
offensive, but it's funny and you make a joke and then that's the end of it. I don't know how it becomes a difficult situation. This mayor seems to have a handle on it.
He does.
So we better laugh about it or someone's getting fired.
Someone's going to get
That's the
fired.
subtext.
I
All right,
love
there
that.
you go.
There
That's
you
a
go.
show.
You guys, that is a show. That is how we do it. Coming in hot as we head towards the old Thanksgiving holiday. Look, again, like we said.
Today is Thanksgiving.
I thought tomorrow is.
Oh, maybe
Today's
it's tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
We're recording this early, but tomorrow's
Is it?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Right.
So wake up in the morning, watch the Macy's Day Parade if it's
Yes.
still happening.
Yes.
Spend time with your close-knit family, your unit. FaceTime your outer relatives and whatnot. You can still stay connected with them. You can still stay protected, and you just don't
Remember,
get infected, guys.
This is not a hoax.
We've got the jokes.
You can play a football game with your family in a field.
Listen, we want you to wear masks. We want you to take this seriously. And that is the way we're going to beat it, all of us together. And we beat this through humor. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.